Welcome to the 1111 Wheel of Life. This is a co-creation and manifestation board. I'm Danny, and I use it on my channel, 1111 Tarot. I'm on YouTube as well as on Facebook and Twitter. You can find those links down below. Okay, you guys. So first of all, I want to tell you that this is the blueprint, if you will, of a beautiful poster. Now, it's got some serious weight. You can hold it up and it stays straight. So it's got the weight of like a heavy placemat, which is beautiful because it can be rolled up and it can be stored rolled up and then roll it the other way and it flattens nicely out. So what's so special about this board? Well, it helps with the beginner tarot. So if you're new to tarot, it helps you because it gives you an understanding of what the cards placements would be. It provides a beautiful spread that incorporates our ancestors' medicine wheel. So there's 7 placements that are quite large, and you can use oracle cards that are larger than your normal sized tarot deck. See? So in this side, you can actually use your oracle decks in all 7 placements if you chose to. Now, it is aligned with the compass of east, south, west, and north, providing our south node, our midheaven, as well as our north node. It also is a very balanced co-creation because it's air, earth, fire, and then water. Let me move that for you. So you can see where if I were to grab a card, a very large oracle card, it fills up the placement, and it also qualifies that the center is where source, the universe, is helping us create. This happens to be luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. All right, so let's continue on to explain a little bit of why this was created. When we create and we manifest, we have to actually understand that things need to come in a balanced way and are reflected by the universe. So we constantly need to make adjustments within ourselves. If we just simply manifest through a wish, through a new moon, we may end up with a karmic cycle that is just looping us into a downward spiral. And that can happen. And that's why when I began to see this repetitive cycle in my life, I asked Archangel Michael for some guidance. And when I woke through a vision, I received this entire blueprint. Numerology plays into it because if you take the houses, so if you take 6 and 2 is 8, and then you add it to 10, you would get 18, and the reduction of 18 is 1 plus 8 is 9. So each of the foundational spots on the board, the 4 corners that are the foundational pillars, are your energy, and they all balance out in a universal way that is the ebb and flow, which is 3, 6, or 9 universal numbers. Next, it also works with the tarot reading. So you could do oracle cards or you could do tarot reading. The middle cards here, the middle placements, show us how we're co-creating with the universe in a divine way that crosses our path, as well as fate. So we have destiny and fate. And then how are we co-creating? And all designs that come into being start in what our ancestors would call the east, the beginning, when the sun rises. And that is where we think of things. It's telepathic communication. It's understanding where the concept of building a plane came from, right? It's all about the thought process. And you can use this to clarify. It breaks it down in a lot of different ways through each segment. Next, we go into our south node. This is our earth realm. We've begun to manifest with our emotional trial and error. And you can see each placement is a little bit different. And for instance, here's love on the board. It is the Capricorn sign in this placement. It signifies the 10th house, and it is Saturn energy. And it's interesting because depending on what card you drew, it could change the meaning of the card. So we have 6 of Spears, which is victorious in something. And it's in love. It's in the 10th house. Now, There will be an extended video that would explain this a little bit more in depth. But as you get to know your houses and also your planets and your astrology through this, this will begin to really make a lot of sense. And then you build on to the story through our second house, which is Taurus energy, Venus on the board, and trust. And then we work into our growth, Virgo energy, sixth house, Mercury, and we've got another card. So in this reading, we've got the Knight of Spears, as well as the Queen of Spears and the Six of Spears. A lot of wands on the board. And this all would build onto the reading, depending on what it meant and how it resonated with the person that's doing the reading and how the cards played out in the understanding of the message. Co-creating with the divine allows us to center our reading. Let's grab a love oracle card. And yeah, it can fit pretty much really large cards. These happen to be the Whispers of Love, which are very large. This entire board is 16 by 20 inches, so it's not small, but it rolls right up for storage, and you can laminate this as well, and it preserves it for a long time. Now, here you can see that this card is a 28, means closing of a cycle. The union of hearts, a love connection, defies explanation. And that's what we're saying here, that the Great Spirit is offering this beautiful love card. And to work this entire pattern is something that the extended will go into detail on. As we move from our emotional trial and error, we're going to move into the West, which is all about our fire. It's also about where the sun sets, and that is our ancestors, our history. And so clarifying that, we would grab another oracle card, or you could use, in this case, I'll use a tarot card, a large tarot card, the good tarot, and it's messenger of water. So we have an incoming message, if you will, and you could qualify these leftover placements here. I always use them as cycles. You could use them for whatever you'd like, whatever cards you'd like. I always think of it as where we are in a cycle and where we're headed. And then furthermore, you can move up here and you can use it to qualify more of what this ancestral spot with this passionate communication is. But it all boils down to, what are we truly manifesting in the physical and material realm in the near future? And then as we move into your North Node, this is all about your emotional feelings and so forth. It's your spiritual success, and we have some more qualifiers on the board here. So altogether, it's a very well-balanced board. It's extremely informative. It's beautiful. But what's even more beautiful, since you've stuck it out, I'm going to tell you, I have the first batch of 25 coming out. Now, quite a few have been pre-ordered, but there are a handful left at this point. The first 25 are going to get a free pick a cup reading with it. Now, it's a $35 value for just the pick a cup reading to hand out to you guys. But the price of this, originally I was going to just go $22.22. I like the number. I checked on shipping. It's anywhere from $8 to $10 to ship to anyone in the United States. And that's all we're doing on the first batch. Now, if you are interested in international, that is something we may do in the future. But for this time being, for those of you that are of the first 25, keep in mind the first 500 of these will be signed by me, Danny, also known as RD, and numbered as well. So they'll come with a C of A, Certificate of Authenticity, as well as will be signed on the back by myself. And there'll be a little message just for you, handwritten by me, for the first 25 orders. All right? And if you're interested, there's information below where you can just log right in there and order as the confirmations come to me, as the orders are placed. I will send you a follow-up confirmation if you were batch 1 or batch 2. So allow at least 3 weeks for batch 2. Could be 4 weeks, so give or take about 30 days at the most, for me to make sure that we've got everything situated with the first batch and everybody got what they needed, and then we'll get into that. But the first batch will be ready between Valentine's Day and March 1st. I want to just say I love you guys. I love you very much. And I want to personally thank you for supporting the channel in so many ways. So much love, much light, and thank you so much. I love you to the moon and back. Namaste.